Hey y'all, what's up? Sorry I haven't given y'all my raw review yesterday after I put my son to sleep at 9. I fell asleep. So I didn't even watch the whole thing. I had to finish watching it just now. I will say that it is a great Raw. I love that it's Women's History Month. I love that women are getting showcased more. In my eyes, it seems like they've had 3 or 4 encounters tonight. And I feel like in general, women should have half the thing, especially on Raw, because they have better storylines than the women on SmackDown. But with it being Women's History Month, since that's not always the case, instead of giving 2 showcases or maybe 2 matches and the men get the other 4, it should be 3 and 3. Make it equal. So I love that because I watched part of it today and part of it yesterday. I can't remember all of it. So yeah, so I remember KO and Solo not K Solo. KO and Sammy coming out and them 2 cheering each other on, and then the Usos coming out and them accepting the WrestleMania event. I love that. I love how they try to go at it and they was like, not happening. And then what had me going, the start of the dismantle of the bloodline is Jay was getting upset. Roman was looking at him like, who you talking to? And low key, we like, he really talking to Roman, but he put Solo's name in there because he didn't want no repercussions. Okay. So then after that, what else happened? I think it was, excuse me. I think it was something else, but I wasn't sure. I think it was supposed to be a women's tag qualifying match, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look at my tweets. I'm not sure what happened after that. After that whole segment, I do remember. Who was it? I have to go back and look, to be honest, because I don't remember anything after that except for like Logan Paul and him coming on there saying something about the Miz, and then I finished watching with the Logan segment, the Seth segment. The Mike going blank is hilarious. So like that's probably Seth. And his outrageous outfits, because I was like, he got nice shoes on, but he looked like he got pajamas on. And then his wife took a page out of his book because she had on one of them gaudy coats that looked like that was his, that he wears when she watched Rhea versus Bailey. And I love the understanding that Rhea and Becky have, because she was like Rhea was like, thank you, but she was like, I'm watching you, like we good now, but later down the road, you know what I'm saying, it might not be like that. I loved Johnny Ricochet's match. It wasn't Ricochet, was it? No, sorry, wrong person. It was Johnny and Dominic's match. That was a good match. Damian looked nice out there. And who else? And Dexter looked terrifying as always. My son in the background. Okay, and then I want to say this might be short because I'm trying to go off memory off yesterday and today. I know I skipped like a whole hour between the bloodline and Logan Paul. Something happened, and I'm probably gonna remember it. This is why I call it wrestling and rants, because I don't remember. I just go off rants. And then after the Logan Paul situation, it was Mustafa and Omos, which I was like, his persona is hilarious, him being that positivity guy, but I kind of miss the old Mustafa, because I'm like, the old Mustafa would have gave almost a run for his money. And I also tweeted that you can tell that all the people that are champions are basically guaranteed to win. So you already knew who's going to win the matches, because it makes no sense, I guess, to WWE that, Charlotte has 4 matches in the month before WrestleMania and she loses one of them. God forbid, it's going to make her look weak. Yeah, I see that standpoint, but at the same time, it's like, well, she had 4 matches. She lost one of the 4. So we're going to see if she actually has what it takes to get the title. Like, that would be more enticing to me. And that's just me personally. Um, also, I still don't think Omos is going to win. And you can say all you want to, oh, his hand spread, this, But they said that against Braun. Because I think I said in when I was tweeting, Twitter, IAmJustBee, BEE, that, yeah, when I first saw it, because I first got back into wrestling about a year ago with my son, that Omos looks terrifying. He does if you don't watch it. But after I see him fight Bobby in the cage match and Bobby got out, he won. I was like, okay, technicality. But then when he lost the second time, I was like, he did, but he ain't that scary because he keep losing. Then they keep trying to pair him up with 4 no-name wrestlers to make him look like he's this big person. And then they try to get someone that was a little more well-known in Mustafa for him to win. But I was like, that ain't help either, because that ain't convinced me. You lost against Bobby, who beat Brock. You lost against Braun, who I'm waiting for him and Brock to fight. And more than likely, you're losing against Brock. Brock is too skilled of a athlete, and not just in wrestling, but in MMA fighting, for him to lose. Just because you're big doesn't mean you have the skill. Like, you have the size, and you'll be great once he gets out of the beginning stages of wrestling and stuff. But he needs big people to tell him how to fight and what's best for him. Like, if he needs to get into the ring with Braun on his off time, do that. You need to talk to Paul White, aka Big Show. You need to talk to Mark Henry. You need to talk to Kane the Undertaker. Do that. Like, it'll help so much better. Like, them men can move, and they knew what they could and couldn't do. When they said that the Fatal 4-Way match was going to be the Vikings, Ricochet, and Braun, Street Profits, and Alpha Academy, I was like, okay, somebody looking at my tweets or looking at my stories, because I legit said that as a backup. So if that's y'all need to hire me instead of just stealing my ideas. My LinkedIn, Brittany Gamble LinkedIn. Okay. What else? I like the segment with that. I like I said, Rhea and stuff like that. And I honestly thought that it was going to be 2 other girls. I don't know why. And then I was like, I love the acting that Bailey does, because every time she hears Becky's music, she looks scared. And they knew that they messed up when they hit Trish and Lita. And Trish was fierce, okay? Them boots. And I love that Dakota, I guess she was looking at tweets and stuff about her wig with that Neapolitan cover, the white chocolate and pink. I'm glad it's dark pink, light pink, brown, because that looks so much better. Becky, you love to hate her. I don't know. Like, I don't hate her as much as I did when she first came out and she was nerve-wracking. I will say that Chad and Ricochet's match was very entertaining. And I say that because excuse me. I say that because they're both resilient. As far as athletics go, as far as wrestling go, they probably used up all their time doing that segment, and just somebody was just like pin the other one. And if it wasn't for Maxine coming to get Otis, I think Chad would have won, but he got distracted because they're both great. Like, they're very versatile in the ring. Chad can't do all that high flying and stuff, but he has other moves. Like, I love versatile fighters. Like, Ricochet is one of them, very agile, but like Chad, KO, AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler, even like Drew McIntyre, like, those are people that, whether they get with a powerhouse or someone that's a high flyer, it's going to be entertaining because they could do a little both. And that's what I like. So, I also, I already knew when Roman said, oh, go to the jet, this, and he was like, bet. He was like, Solo, stay here. And I was like, it's gonna be the Usos versus Solo and Roman. I said originally I thought it was gonna be Jay and Sammy versus Solo and Roman, and then Jimmy had to choose. But I was like, it might be the Usos versus Solo and Roman, and then Sammy might help. He might not. But I was like, Solo gonna go out there with him. And at the end, he surely went out with him. And I love that Cody, first of all, stopped the them talking about his dad and comparing him to his father. Cause I'm like, that storyline is old. We're getting tired of it as fans. I also love that he put the seeds in Solo's head and Roman telling him to come, like, Solo, no, come, like a dog or whatever. It solidified it, and then Roman's face when he does that, his mouth, he's thinking. So of course he was like, Jay's gonna leave you when you lose. He's gonna leave you, because I'm like, yeah, if you lose, that's a dismantle the tribal chief, because now you don't have your titles, and if they win, they have their titles. When originally Jay was probably supposed to be the Universal Champion. So if all of y'all lose your titles, then what? Because that means now technically Solo is the tribal chief, because he's the only one that hasn't lost a match. So that's going to be interesting. Kofi recovering from surgery. I follow him on social media. He's going to be out for like 4 weeks. So I wonder how that's going to play with Woods, because Big E is gone, Kofi's gone. So will they have him sitting in the background for 4 weeks, or will they have him doing solo matches every once in a while, or partnering up with somebody random? And then the Bianca and Asuka versus Piper Niven and Chelsea was a guarantee. We already knew Bianca and Asuka was gonna win. The ending though was typical Asuka, and her teeth are incredible. Like a lot of stars get theirs fixed. Her, Jimmy J, I think Ricochet, they look like Braun, maybe AJ Styles, I want to say. They look like they didn't pay to get theirs done. They look like it might have been braces. Like good old fashioned braces or retainers at night. Like it looked good. No. The ending I love, because when he was like, no, and then he stopped. Because I was like, he dressed. When I saw Solo come out, I was like, he dressed like he ready to fight. So then he came out, and then he was like, no. And then they faded it off, and I was like, such a good ending. Like next weekend, such a good ending. And I wish my son and I could afford to go to LA, or we could have won tickets, because that would have been such a huge thing. And for me, to be honest, I would have been more excited. I'm more excited about the women's matches. Like, I want to see the Usos versus KO and Sammy, yes. But I can't wait to see Becky, Lita, Trish versus Damage Control. I can't wait to see Charlotte and Rhea. Not so much Bianca and Asuka. And Bianca, my girl. She's one of my favorites. But I don't want to see that match. I think because I'm so stuck on like Bianca and Rhea, Bianca and Raquel, that Bianca and Asuka is not thrilling me. I can't wait to see Edge and Finn. So did I name Roman and Cody? I feel like the hype is gonna be better than the match, to be honest, because you know how the Usos, someone speeds it up and then they come out the ring just like Solo and slow it down in their favor. Roman does that a lot, and that happened with him and Sammy versus KO and John Cena. And what that was, even though they gave the match 30-minute time, 20 of the minutes they weren't even really fighting. And you was like, people were like, well, me thinking, I was like, I could have went to bed for this. I love the fact that I love the fact that Bianca is the biggest star of Raw. And I say that because you're either the biggest star when you open, I feel like, or you close the event. You might be, say if it's 5 matches, you might be the third one to bring up the momentum. You might be in the middle match to bring up the momentum, so they might have a big star. It's in my big star to keep like the crowd, going up and down, and then a huge star. But she's for the past 4 or 5 months been main event in Raw, and the only reason why she ain't main event Raw tonight is because Roman was there. But other than that, she's been the last thing to come out, and I am so proud of her being a woman, a person of color. To be able to excel and succeed so fast in such a short amount of time, and to have the women's championship in such a short amount of time, and to keep people entertained and to influence so many girls and females. I went to Charlotte LJ now for our first show, and it seemed like it was just as many grown women with the long ponytail as there were kids. I love her. Like I haven't loved or liked a female wrestler since back in the day. Like back in the day, Lita was my girl. Love China. Love Irie and Jacqueline. Love Sable. Like they were my girls. And then the Glamazon came out. I liked Beth Phoenix, but not as much as I liked the other ones. And they were like everything. Because Lita was like the first high flyer, I think, that I remember. If the other girls flew, it wasn't like that. They were more so powerhouses. She changed the game. And I liked Trish too, but like they didn't really put Trish in the stuff until Lita came along, if that makes sense to me, from my recollection, because she was always like walking with guys down the stage or pretending to be Vince's girlfriend or something like that. Like, so, but I just love, and then she was like the first woman, or she won Royal Rumble, I think, one year. And then I don't know, she's the first black woman SmackDown champion, but I know like we made it because Alicia Fox was the first black Divas champion, Naomi was the first black SmackDown champion, and then she might have been the first black Raw champion, I don't know, women's champion, but just to make strides as a woman, and then a woman of color, because it's so hard to break barriers as a woman, and then it's hard to break barriers as a person of color, whether you're Asian, Hispanic, Pacific Islander, black. It's just hard. People see our skin and don't take us like some of us like we're not worth anything, or we can wait after them, So I'm proud of that. I can't wait for Friday. I also like the fact that some of the people that have not gotten a match. Oh, I'm also ready to see Gunther, the triple threat Gunther, Sheamus, Drew match. But I'm loving the fact that WWE is not backing down, or like letting certain people go unnoticed. So like Johnny Gargano doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, but he has one with NXT. I forgot the name of their WrestleMania event, but he has a match on there. Like at least he's being showcased, you know what I'm saying? So that's exciting for me. And if any other WWE superstars that are on the main roster are on there, I'm here for it, because I'll watch that too, just for them. Like I watched what do we have? We have War Games on WWE on we have War Games, Survivor Series War Games, and then NXT had, I forgot what the hell they called theirs, but theirs, let me tell you, I watched it specifically because I can't remember, I think the New Day was going to be on there, and they were defending themselves against, for the tag team titles. But I watched it from beginning to end with the men's match in the cage and the penalty box. That was just as interesting, if not more interesting, than the daggone War Games. So I'm excited to see what NXT has to bring for WrestleMania. I don't watch them often, but when they have pay-per-view matches, it is everything, and they play like they have nothing to lose, which I love. That is the reason why a lot of people like what you call amateur or entry level stuff like college basketball, college football, college, or like NXT, because these people are hungrier. You know what I'm saying? They want it more, and so they'll do whatever it takes. And they actually are still doing it for the love of the sport, you know, versus someone that's already in or made it, and then they're like, whatever. But I think I covered everything. And excuse my hair, it's a mess. It's 8 something at night. It's almost 8:45. I gotta go put my son to bed. So next time I'll try to, well, Friday, of course, I'm gonna watch the whole thing. So I'm going to try to put something up there. Or maybe I should do better by taking notes. But I feel like everyone else takes notes. And I don't want to become, I want to do what I do like this. So I'm going to continue to do what I do like this. And I'm just posting it for fun. So, yeah. But that food, that little seafood, Paul said, for, they had on the jet, I was like, okay, mahi, because I was like, dang, I want some. If he would have said red snapper, I'd have been like, all right, okay, he's showing out now. But, yeah, so can't wait. I cannot wait, for WrestleMania. I can't wait for SmackDown. I want to see what other women are going to be in the tag team thing. And, I think basically all the men are in it except for LA Knight. Yeah. Except for him. And because he's been trying to get in the match for a while. And I think Ray and Dominic, and that would be everything if he accepts this match. And then he retires after that. It's just like Uso's about to retire, and then it's Jay versus Jimmy. Like, you gotta go out with a banger. And if they give you a chance to choose your match and you want to go up against your son, do that. Which I think is going to happen, but it's going to be the anticipation of doing it. But once he knocks Dom into his senses, I want him to change his persona. Or pick a different one if you're going to stay with Judgment Day. No more hard time. You don't have no reason to be mad about your deadbeat father because he's retired. You ain't got no reason to see him. Like, you should patch things up if he retired because he spends more time at home. So it's time to come up with a new persona. So we'll see. I'll give my predictions of WrestleMania probably the day before. And based off of the events coming. I already have some in my head, but they might change. And I'm a woman. I'm allowed to change my mind. So we'll see. Okay.